Hello, I'm Andrea Petrozzi. In this video, I will talk about situations where the values we hold are in conflict with one another. Values are our guiding principles in life, or values intuitively tell us what's right and what's wrong for us. Values also guide our choices, and in some way they sum up who we are as a person, what we stand for, and what is important to us. Even if we share similar values, we prioritize them differently. On the one hand, our value priorities, which form our value systems, are unique to us. But because they differ from other people's priorities, it can easily lead to perceived or real value conflicts, stereotyping, mistrust, or misunderstanding. Something I'm sure we all have experienced many times, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. But on the other hand, we also have internal value conflicts. Our priorities can change from one situation to another. This can be confusing when we try to explain ourselves to someone else. I'm sure you have experienced this too. Well, let me assure you that you are not alone, and this is not unusual. Shifting priorities is the way we manage where our values are in conflict. By changing their relative importance, we can make a choice that we feel is justifiable at a given time, but only in that precise context. Therefore, it is important that we understand that value conflicts are both normal and very common. Value conflicts happen to all of us every day. Sometimes these conflicts are small and insignificant, but at other times they can cause real internal upheaval. In some cases, the conflicts only involve values that are relatively unimportant, but at other times, our most important, non-negotiable, hardwired values are challenged. One might argue that doping, as a form of rule breaking, involves deception, and therefore it is the prime example for the lack of personal integrity. As Gita's story shows, the situation is a lot more complex than that. For a start, values can coexist and conflict. Commitment to personal integrity involves not solving these conflicts, but being open and honest about them. Ourselves, who we are, is not a single entity, but is made of many different and often conflicting relationships, values, and their value-infused narratives. Commitment to personal integrity does not demand compatibility between these narratives, but taking responsibility for our core values, or purpose, or sense of worth and practice, and being mindful of how our choices affect others. Who we are is made of our past, current, and future characters. That is shown in our commitments to our core values, ideals, goals, and projects. Value systems with their inherent conflict often structures for thinking about what to do, and they serve as a practical starting point and give actionable directions. Abstract values such as fairness, honesty, or excellence are universal, but the way these are actioned in everyday decisions are context sensitive. The most and best you can do is making a conscious effort to make sense of that context that challenges your values and develop awareness of how your value priorities can shift from one situation to the next. Self-reflection in both good and bad times is important for being true to ourselves and our core values in our everyday decisions. Sport has rules, and for good reasons. Rules are in place to make sport safe, results comparable, and competition fair as much as possible. Breaking a rule is black and white. You either break the rule or you don't. But the reasons behind the choice that breaks a rule are not black and white, but shades of many blacks and many whites. If we really want to understand the role values play in clean sport and in anti-doping, we must allow for these shades, engage in sense-making process, and accept that value conflicts are both normal and very common. Thank you for listening.